I bought this 1996 Kawasaki Mule 2500 right there. These are very similar to the 2510. Really, the only difference is the four-wheel drive. The 10 on the Kawasaki series means four-wheel drive. This right here did not come factory with this cab. This is a Curtis cab, which back in its day, this was the prime. Look at that. It's got a heater. Pretty cool, eh? That's supposed to, I thought this went with it. It does not. That is a Polaris airbox lid for an older Polaris. So it looks like we are missing our airbox lid. That's not good. There's some, some damage right there. Floorboard a little rotted out. Tires going flat on me again. Bed starting to get a little rust. Not really a common occurrence up here. I mean, I'm down here. I mean, I'm in Oklahoma, and normally you don't see these things all rusted out, but this is the second mule I've bought over the last few weeks that's all rusted out. Now, the lady I bought this from swears up and down it runs. She said she had drove it to the spot that it was sitting at. This is rough. Oh man, this thing is rough. I have very little faith in it, but I do believe her that it runs. I am planning to fix this as cheap as possible. I am not dumping a ton of money into it because, as you could see, it's pretty rough. We're just gonna make this a running, driving Kawasaki Mule 2500. I'm gonna probably call it a 2510, especially since someone chopped the muffler off.
Why? When I was buying it, I was like, you know, it's a little worse than you described it. You know, trying to, talking her down on it a little bit. And I was like, does this, somebody cut the muffler off on this? And she was like, why? Does it have a catalytic converter? I was like, is this that bad of a neighborhood?
It's in downtown Durant, Oklahoma. I'm not going to put screenshots of the posting because of the fact there was only one photo on there, and she had put her phone number right across in the middle of it. Now, this cab was probably the shiznit back in its day because, like, it comes with all sorts of stuff. I mean, this would have been fully loaded back in 1996. This would have been the coolest thing you could get. Dang, look at that. Got me a set of anti-locks. Name brand ones too, if I don't forget them. But it's got a windshield wiper. It's missing it. And it appears that at some point this thing had blinkers. I've never seen nothing like that. I don't even know if the brakes work. We're not dumping a ton of money into this. Not. Make it run and drive. That's it. I debated on pulling the cab. So y'all let me know what you would do. Do you think it would look better without the cab on here? Tires on this thing ain't great. But since I knew from looking at it a few things that it was going to need for sure, I went ahead and ordered them. And right here, we got some LED pods. Now I wanted to stick, this is supposed to have circle pods on the front of it. These lights aren't right. These would come with a circle light, and it's a little bit bigger than this. I'm kind of glad at this point now I did not get one bigger, but look at this thing, it's like a pancake. But it'll fit right there, and we'll have some nice LED pods so you can see while you're out driving around, whatever. Got some fuel on, because while she said that the tank was rusted out in the post, the tank is not rusted out. But we do not have the carb hooked up. That's a problem. She said it got drove to where it was. That's not hooked up, and she said when her brother brought it in there, he had a tank, an external tank, pumping fuel into this. So that's my guess, is it's basically just because the actual fuel pump's missing, because the tank really doesn't look all that bad. And then we got us a new air filter. It came with a spark plug, but we ain't using that Chinesium spark plug. Got a new fuel pump. It's fancy. A new ignition, because someone broke that one. And a new, come here, gas cap. Hopefully we don't need anything else, and the other pile of parts right there is for my truck. But we're gonna make this thing run. What y'all think?
It's a little rough. What's that, 1,642 hours? I hope it runs. I really do.
We're gonna start by pulling this carb because although it probably does run, I have very little faith that we could do that and get away with not cleaning this carburetor. Let me set that over there. Set that to that side. So I almost bought a carb, but I didn't know if this had a Makini on it. And I just kind of ordered the parts while I was about to get back home from picking this thing up. I don't want to throw a Chinese carb on this thing if we had the OEM. And look at that, lucky us, we do. But check out that gasket. That is custom, made out of the box. Carb's a little bit gunky. This probably would have ran. As I looked at this pilot jet, like you can see through there, it's nice and clean. But you know what? It's already apart. Let's stick all that in the ultrasonic. And I'm gonna see if I can acquire those gaskets, the correct gasket, instead of part of a box. Plus we still need gas and what's the other thing this thing requires to start? Oh yeah, a battery that I completely forgot to purchase. All right, so they didn't have the gaskets at the Kawasaki dealer. None of the local dealers have it, so I ended up getting some gasket material and I cut it out. And they're not beautiful, but they will get the job done. That's cool though, that's all right, they'll work. I did kind of go off of their old gasket and it didn't have that little valley right there, which is for that. And yeah, that is orange paint. I gotta get that off here in just a second, but I tried taking the paint and I thought, hey, I'll put paint marker, just press it down, and it kind of works, but it doesn't really dig in real well. I don't know, kind of kept messing it up. Carb's good to go though. We just need to put it back together and she will be golden. All right, now we are ready to mount it back on. This little lever had to go on first. That gasket's gonna go on the outside. And this one is gonna go, no, I'm backwards. This one goes on the inside. It'll definitely be easier with OEM gaskets. And if these won't work, that's fine, I'll order OEMs, but hey, we're gonna give it a shot. We're balling on a budget. Yeah, that kit came with a spark plug, right? It was for a Mule 2510. Guess what? The Mule has 2 spark plugs. Stupid kit. I chose the cork type gasket that came in the kit because it says it works for gas and oil, so we want to make sure it'll handle the fuel. All right, I'm gonna tighten this thingy down right here. I didn't even realize these old mules, man. This series was made for a long time. I didn't realize they made them so old. They started making these in like 1992. This is old. I don't know, a little bit of y'all might get offended because 1992 doesn't sound like that long ago, but I'll be honest with you. It was 33 years ago. It's a little old. Now let's figure out how we're gonna get this pump hooked up. All right, so we've got, right here, what are these? This is probably power to something else. Don't have a clue. So let's just get that out of our way. So I'm gonna guess this right here, since this is the mount for the pump right there, I'm gonna guess that that is where this pump goes. We've got an in and an out on here, and I wanna make sure that we get these hooked up first. This is gonna go out. That fuel line is not big enough for that. I guess it's, oh, it's for this overflow hose. That's all right, we got fuel line. Okay, it does not need to be that long. So let's go like right there. Just chop it off. There we go, nice snug fit too. Let's get our other line in, coming in. All right, so had to take off yesterday so I could go. I picked up a 2019 Honda Foreman 500 4x4 foot shift that had been rolled for 450 bucks. Thing runs great. This heck of a deal. Y'all stay tuned for that one on the channel. I'll put a picture of it right here. But hey, you know, while I was in here earlier, I completely forgot. If y'all are wondering what all these other units in here are, so this is a guy I know's unit. His probably grenaded motor. I gotta tear into it later today, and see what failed in that. And this here has the 6362 code where won't start. Really weird. Fuel pump didn't have enough pressure. It was only pushing about 40 psi. I ended up putting a new fuel pump in it and got 58, 59, maybe it was 60 psi. I don't remember, but still won't start. Something to do with crankshaft position sensor, plausible cause where basically it could be all sorts of stuff. That's what, according to Polaris, that it could be the flywheel shear to key. That's a possibility. Could be the injectors are actually the problem, like the list of issues that could be. It's ridiculous, the amount of troubleshooting, and he doesn't want to pay for it. So that one's going out the door. He doesn't want to dump money in that right now. And this right here is this won't make the channel, won't make a full video. This is a 2009 Ranger 700. She's a little rough, but he had said in the ad this thing had low compression, and it was running funky. Not necessarily like it had low compression. I really wasn't sure what it was doing and why it was idling so erratically. The power was weird, but I drove it on the trailer and I drove it back here. And the code it was throwing for was for the TPS. So when I started checking out the TPS, I moved this and yeah, intake boot broke smooth off. So that's probably the problem. Got the intake boot for that today. But that's what all these units are, and obviously my Outlander, like always. So I need to hook up the line going from the tank to the fuel pump, but there are two lines. And I was thinking to myself, which one is which? All right, so you got both of them right there. And all right, how do I figure that out? There's not a whole lot on Google, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put gas in this thing and we'll put some air, blow air into it, and obviously whichever one makes bubbles is gonna be the right line. And we got like $5 in gas. Get this in there. Man, over the last week, we hit the 10,000 subscriber mark. Thanks guys, to everybody who watches, I appreciate it. But didn't get a video in last week because I bought a bunch of side-by-sides. I think today's the 11th. This month, I think I've bought 8 in total, maybe 9. I sent a bunch of them to auction because they needed more work than I wanted to put in. Need to save a little bit of fuel for the pressure washer. Whatever I did have, I know I bought. This is the second mule. I'll put some photos of those things right here. 500. Oh, a Rhino 450. The Rhino was 1,200 bucks. And the only reason why I was gonna be willing to buy a 450 is because the thing looked clean in the photos. I drove all the way over there. It was a little over an hour, and I get there and it wouldn't turn over. It was locked up. There was no oil in it. They claimed that that it had just been parked and they drove it there. I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's try this. Now you can't see me from in here because I got the dang cab, but let's see. Okay, so it's the one closest to us. Let me hook that up real quick. All right, so I'm gonna use a little fuel filter on here it came with. Normally I don't use these because they clog, but these old mules can have little rusty fuel tanks, and this will let us know if we're getting fuel flow too. And fuel flow is good. All right, it's on there tight. And what I want to do now, we're going to apply power to this. For one, so we can make sure that it's working. For two, We can go ahead and check for leaks and fill the fuel pump up. There we go. These pumps have a shutoff in them once it gets to a certain pressure. I don't know, I don't feel like that was enough to fill the float bowl, but maybe it was. Let's get this battery in here, see if we can get her to start on our own. Plus, we need to be able to test the polarity of the wires coming in to make sure that I'm not about to hook it up backwards and fry the whole thing. We're only gonna have to use the little terminals I bought on one side, this negative side. The positive doesn't need it. I do not want to lose any more length on this. So let's try to get that in there just like that, yeah. There we go. Isn't that pretty good? And just because there's some exposed stuff right here, I'm gonna wrap that with electrical tape. Make sure we don't have any arcs. Alrighty. Now, here's our battery. Alrighty. Let's see if this turtle start. We in gear? No. She's running. The motor sounds healthy, but I don't know if we're supposed to get 12 volts to that pump. We're not. That exhaust makes it sound like shit. Okay, well, let's get that fuel pump pumping correctly. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a turd. This is a clapped out turd. To somebody it'll make a decent unit to just beat on, but as far as if somebody wanted something nice, this ain't it. I thought I had a buyer for this thing the whole time. And I'm like, hey, look, this thing's a little rougher than I want to deal with. I don't know if you still want it. I was gonna make him a good deal on it because it does run. I think this is a fantastic something for somebody who wants a cheap project, something to be able to use on the farm. Do I think it's a good bike for me to fix to resell? Absolutely not. The cab is hideous. Functional, very functional, but hideous. Anyway, he responds back, hey, do you want my Honda Foreman 500? I bought a Q-Link from him a few days ago. Maybe that was last week, maybe it was the week before, I don't know. And he told me nothing but good things about it. He said, but he went to do something, pulled it up, opened it up, and turns out there's rat nest under the seat. So we're trading this for an 09 Foreman 500. And he'll be here in a little bit, and let's see how it looks. All right, let's get this out of the shop and be productive. I'm glad this thing rolls well. Ugh. Whee! This is the Honda we bought last night. I'm just gonna bend these bars back so my wife can ride it. There we go. It's better, it's not good. Let's try to do it like this. Don't break off. Oh, there we go. We're not going too in depth on this one. This will be its own video coming soon.
All right, well, while we wait, let's replace this intake boot and see if this thing whips. Did not hook the TPS back up. Whoops, my bad.
I bet somebody has messed with the idle on that thing, trying to get it to idle right. These 700s, you can actually mess with the idle. The newer ones, you cannot. So we're going to pull this off and set it all up right. I'll see if she'll run right afterwards. Well, the thing runs and drives. I ended up putting some new plugs in it. I'll show you those here in a second. Look at that filter. That filter's definitely been wet. It's wetter right now because I just washed this thing, but that filter's definitely been wet. Dude said in the ad that it has never actually been mud road, but I don't know if I believe that. It smokes bad, it's burning oil. I'm not interested in dealing with a whole bunch of it, so. Those are the plugs I pulled out of it. I no longer take on expensive projects that take thousands of dollars worth of parts and make a couple $100. It's just not even worth it, so. This right here is gonna get unloaded, but check it. We'll start it up real quick. Smoking for me?
She's not right now. I noticed it, basically it smokes under a load.
Ah, it's all wet in here. That's all right. We'll get wet. Hey. Good, the brakes work. All right, now it's out of the shop. See if you can see it smoking back here. Maybe a little bit from the camera. There's the new Honda. This thing is like a hot dog in a hallway. Look at that. Woo-wee! Never been mud road. I don't know about that. Tires don't clear too well. Smoking now. And there's the Honda we traded the mule for. I don't normally do trades, but this actually runs. It is, golly, it looks so much better in this video than it does in person. Now he said this was definitely a mud bike prior. He put all brand new ball joints on it, but our calipers are sitting up there for whatever reason. I'm assuming they don't work. Yeah. It does have some cool aftermarket stuff. I believe these are the high lifter springs that are not available anymore. To give it a 2-inch lift. Old school Super Swampas with some old school ITPs, but these are IRS rims. And so it's sitting kind of in right there. That should be sitting, and that one's a little further out. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna wash this and we're gonna put it up for sale. The gauge does not work. Fan's wired straight to on. Starter relay's no good. I should probably see if I got a relay for this. Battery's dead. Yeah, I don't know. Would y'all invest the money to fix this up? I mean, I'll do the math and I'll put it right here. It's about how much I have in that mule. What is that? Is that 450, 500-ish? So 500 bucks or so in this. This thing is loud too. Check this out. I ain't gonna lie, my neighbor's grandma probably could hear that from her grave. It is loud. I guess that HMF has 0 packing left in it. This is perfect for one of them Honda boys. Just want to snorkel it and send it. All right, so let's just wash this thing real quick. I'm gonna hit her with some super clean, just try to clean it up a little bit. The super clean will make these rims look good. I don't even know if that made it look any better. Ugh, this one's ugly. Hey, I'm making progress in getting away from some of these clapped units. I used to would fix something like that and drop $2 grand into fixing it, sell it and make a $400 profit. It just doesn't make sense anymore. You know, it's not, I guess it's not completely terrible. It's still wet, so it looks better than it actually does. But this needs too much to be worth me fixing a whole lot of stuff. And I think it's probably worth about on par with that mule would have been worth anyways. So I'd say it's worth 1,500 bucks. That's probably what I'll list it for. Nah, take that back. 1,200. I'm gonna list it for 1,200. And honestly, if somebody offers me $1 grand, I'm gonna let it go. This, I don't even know the word I want to use for it. Yeah, so y'all can drop down in the comments below the word you would use for what this is. I mean, don't get me wrong, at least it doesn't need every ball joint. It's got all brand new ball joints on it. But it's too rough. 1,200 bucks, I'll make a few hundred. You don't win them all. Not everything's a home run. Like the last video I posted with that razor, I think I still sold that to a buddy of mine. I forget what I sold it to him for, but I made a couple $1,000s on it. Not all of them are winners like this. The Ranger didn't turn out to be a winner, but we could sell them both. We could make some money, and that's the name of the game. Y'all stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see. Maybe the next one's the Honda over there, that one. Because that one, it looks worse than this. It's 100% better than this, 100%. And thank you to every one of you who have subscribed to help me get to that 10K mark. And those of you who watched all the way to the end of these videos, it's greatly appreciated. I really never thought I'd make it this far to 10,000 subscribers. 10,000 people watch videos that I actually make. It's crazy, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate every one of my viewers, all of y'all. I had a guy come up to me at an auction. He said, "Hey, you're Michael Hayes from the ATV Hustle." And I was like, "Yeah." And that was the coolest thing. It really was. He's a minor, so I probably shouldn't post his picture, but so we're not gonna do that. Anyway, it's really cool, and thanks guys.